800 gigabits per second. Gone. The cut happens at 0347, no flicker, no degraded signal, just traffic for 11 million people erased in the time it takes a blade to finish its stroke. On BRP Integrity's bridge, Chief Engineer Reyes is pulling on his jacket before the alert has stopped sounding. The previous breach, 4 days ago, 60 kilometers south,
this extreme
had
close-up
frayed
shows
edges,
the irregular
anchor drag, explainable. This one is different. He already knows it before the vessel clears. Apari Harbor at 0512. BRP Jose Rizal runs parallel 2 kilometers to port, per crew at stations. The Philippine Navy stopped treating these outages as accidents after the second one. Dawn finds them over the fault site at 0741. Flat sea, clear sky, and sitting 400 meters northeast, low and patient in the morning light, a Chinese research vessel Xiang Yang Hong 10 holds position as though she has been there all night. Because she has. The Coast Guard log shows her arrival at 2318. She filed no notice. She made no call. She simply appeared above the cable route and waited. Integrity deploys her ROV at 0812. The submersible sinks through green water, its lights painting the descent in cold white columns. The tether unreeling in steady rhythm from the stern crane. Reyes watches the depth counter, says nothing. At 0839, the camera finds the cut. Both cable ends clean. Outer armor peeled back in a deliberate pattern, not the random violence of an anchor, not the crush damage of a hull. The fiber bundle exposed with precision. The team recognizes the signature before anyone names it. Tools made for this. Used by something that knew exactly where to look. Reyes photographs it, then photographs it again. The images will matter later. Right now, the clock matters more. 72 hours before saltwater degrades the exposed bundle past repair. He doesn't say that number aloud. Everyone on the bridge already knows it. At 0917, the ROV light catches movement. Low against the seafloor. Torpedo profile, roughly 2 meters, tracking the cable route southwest. With the steady patience of a machine that has no reason to hurry. It doesn't react to the ROV's beam. Doesn't deviate, just threads the bottom, following the cable the way a finger traces a line, and keeps moving.
Is clear of the target
The
area.
operator pulls the ROV back. The shape continues without acknowledging the retreat. 4 seconds of silence on the bridge. Then Reyes. Jose Rizal. Now. The frigate is already turning. At 0931, a second shape materializes from the dark margin of the ROVs. Range same profile, offset 200 meters north, running a parallel track. 2 machines, same heading, different lanes. The operator's hands tighten on the controls. Above him, through 800 meters of water and a steel hull, Xiang Yang Hong 10 sits motionless on the surface. A third shape appears at 0948. This one is moving northeast, back toward the repair site, back toward Integrity's hull and the tether dangling beneath it. The watcher on the surface has 3 pieces on the board below, 2 moving southwest along the cable route, 1 moving directly toward the only connection Integrity has to the seafloor. Reyes orders the ROV up fast. The machine beneath does not accelerate to match the tether reeling in above it. It moves at the same steady pace it has maintained since the ROV first found it. The pace of something that has already calculated the outcome and found the result satisfactory. It doesn't need to hurry. The tether is 800 meters long. The machine is threading the bottom 340 meters below Integrity's hull, and it is still climbing. The tether goes slack at 1008. 1 jerk. Clean. The ROV 30 seconds from the surface lights already visible from the stern crane operator's position, and then the line simply stops carrying weight. The feed cuts. The stern deck goes quiet the way rooms go quiet when something irreversible has just happened. When they haul the tether back, the cut end tells the same story as the cable on the seafloor. Peeled sheath, clean fiber, tool mark in the armor. The machine worked its way northeast, cut the tether on the passing, and kept moving without breaking stride. It is somewhere beneath Integrity's hull right now, continuing on its original heading. Unhurried. Reyes holds the severed end in both hands on the stern deck. The sun is fully up. The sea is flat and bright. $4 million of ROV has gone into 800 meters of water, and the 7 2-hour clock has been running for 6 hours and 21 minutes. He does not stand there long. At 1024, the deep thrum of 4 turboprops announces the P-8 Poseidon banking low out of the northeast. Sensor suite active, making its orbit at an altitude that puts its camera pods well within resolution range of every hull on the water. It can map the surface. It can read thermal signatures in the water column. What it cannot do is reach through 800 meters of seawater and physically stop a machine the size of a torpedo. Xiang Yang Hong 10 notes the aircraft and finally moves. Not away. Toward integrity. Slow advance. Deliberate heading. Bearing down on a course that closes the distance between them at the pace of a walking man, unhurried, unstoppable. The way pressure builds rather than strikes. At 1031, a second gray hull materializes from the northeast. Coast Guard markings. Larger than the research vessel by a significant margin. A 4,000-ton hull that wasn't on the horizon 20 minutes ago because it was waiting beyond it. The watcher called for reinforcement before the tether was cut. The timing is not coincidence. Jose Rizal swings to intercept. The frigate has to choose her position. Cut off the incoming Coast Guard vessel or maintain the bracket around integrity. She can't do both. She chooses integrity. The Coast Guard hull curves around the frigate's intercept angle and takes position 300 meters off the repair vessel's bow, directly above the first breach site engines dropping to idle. The bracket is complete. Research vessel to port. Coast Guard hull to bow. Jose Rizal holding the perimeter. At 1047, the second cable flatlines. Not the first breach. 60 kilometers southwest, the redundant line. The backup route carrying the rerouted traffic since 0347. It drops off in one total cut. The breach is at 900 meters depth. In the section that curves away from the shipping corridor, the section of fourth machine, or one of the original three moving faster than modeled, reached while every eye above the surface was watching the bracket form. The communications officer is on satellite link to the cable company's operations center, the only connection to shore that doesn't run through the sea floor. His voice doesn't waver. The information does. Both primary cables severed. Both redundant routes dead. 11 million users offline. 65 hours and counting before the exposed bundle degrades past any repair. On the seafloor, the P-8 finds a thermal signature hovering near the second breach, battery-powered, stationary, holding position over the dead section like a lock set in a door. Not retreating, not advancing, simply remaining. Reyes walks back to the bridge. He does not run. Running changes nothing about the geometry. The Coast Guard hull idles above his worksite. The research vessel rides his port side. Below both of them, through water he cannot see, the machine that cut his tether is still moving on its original heading, and three more are somewhere on the cable route, following the line towards sections his crew hasn't reached yet. The sea offers no surface sign of any of this. It never does. Manila's statement hits the open channel at 1,200. One sentence. The Republic of the Philippines formally protests the unlawful interference with critical communications infrastructure in its territorial waters. The Coast Guard hull doesn't move. Xiang Yang Hong 10 doesn't respond. The thermal signature at the second breach site doesn't shift. At 1,318, Reyes orders the backup ROV prepared. Smaller than the primary, rated to 600 meters, not 800. The second breach is at 900. The backup machine can't reach it. But the first cut sits at 780, within range, by 20 meters. 63 hours left. The Coast Guard hull reads the crane movement at 1,334 and repositions 40 meters south, sliding its mast directly above the first breach site with the casual precision of a piece moved on a board. The engine note doesn't change. No radio call, no signal, just position, adjusted to where it needs to be before the ROV hits the water. Reyes watches it happen from the bridge ring. He orders the ROV over the rail anyway. The backup machine enters the water at 1,347, tether paying out as it sinks, the crane operator feeding line with both hands. It reaches 40 meters. The Coast Guard hull shifts again, slow ahead, repositioning until its shadow falls across Integrity's stern. Its hull close enough that the wash from its bow thruster reaches the repair crew on deck in a low, diesel-tinged wave. The ROV hangs at 40 meters. Pointing at a sea floor, it cannot reach from this position. At 1,412, the northeastern horizon develops texture, three Navy hulls taking shape in the afternoon haze, materializing one after another, not rushing, not signaling, moving with the weight of something that has already done what it came to do. Their course will bring them to the site in under 2 hours. USS Rafael Peralta is 3 hours and 40 minutes out. The math doesn't resolve. At 1,430, The cable company's senior engineer calls again. Hospital systems in 3 provinces are degrading. Satellite rerouting is failing under volume. His voice carries the particular flatness of someone reporting a fact they hope they wouldn't have to report. Reyes acknowledges. Ends the call. Looks at the ROV tether in the crane operator's hands. 60 hours and change on the clock. The backup machine hanging uselessly at 40 meters. The Coast Guard hull idling above the work site. The thermal signature at the second breach, unmoved for 3 hours, patient, stationary, sitting over the dead cable like a guard that has been told it can wait as long as it needs to. And the 3 Navy hulls still coming? The P-8 makes one final low pass before its fuel window closes camera pods, sweeping the surface. Every hull log, every position transmitted to wherever transmissions go. A satellite blink from its fuselage. Then it banks northeast and climbs. The sky above Integrity is empty now. On the seafloor, through 780 meters of dark water, the first cut's cable ends sit open to the sea fiber bundle exposed. The clock measuring what saltwater does to things not built to survive it. The Coast Guard hull's engine idles. The tether hangs. Somewhere along the cable route to the southwest, the machines are still moving. Nobody on the surface knows exactly where,